Good morning. You can probably hear the eggs popping in the background. As you should. It's a delicious time. Happy Tuesday. Ready this Tuesday. Let me tell you, yesterday was a freaking blur. Out of nowhere, around 1 or 2 o'clock, all my energy was gone. It was just gone. Just having to suck it up for the rest of the day. Even around like attempting to visiting a friend, because that was a complete and total failure. It was wild. So I'm still nursing a little bit of a headache, like not like an actual full headache, but just enough to know it's there. Someone popped some Tylenol on that one. But hey, at least I'm fully rested because I feel amazing. So we are starting today on budgeting. So that's I know a little bit about budgeting, but I'm gonna let you know right now. It's gonna be a full-on laugh. I tell you that I am a budgeting professional. I am a budgeting freaking noob, and I know very, very little about it. Generally, my thought process on that is like most, and it's that I'll just make more money. So my plan for this year was to buy a house. That was the same for the plan for last year. So when I started diving into it and looking at the things that would go into that, I was like, well, first and foremost, I should have had myself on a lot more stout budget last year, because there's a lot that goes into it. So that's when I had to be honest with myself and say, you know what, I might have to put it off and actually chop this tree down, because there's a lot more that goes into it than I expected, which, I did expect there to be plenty to go into it. I did not expect it to be as much. That's, a part of the growing pains on, growing. So the budgeting is the first one on the list. Also, one of my goals for this year was to have approximately $5,000 in stocks. While that's an awful lofty goal right now, it's still a really high goal. I want to keep it and keep it really high like that, so that I can make sure that I'm constantly and consistently putting into it. Said all that just to say, the budgeting part is very important for me, because I need to make sure that I'm locking in and learning as much as possible. And I really just want a nice, decent budget to where, it just fits what I want, what I'm going after. And to be very honest, I don't do a whole lot. So that's another thing that has to change. So I'm going to have to budget in for doing like little things here and there every weekend, or, a couple times a week, to make life more interesting and keep myself from going crazy. It's cooking time. I got to make my Focus Greens creatine cocktail. And I need to make sure I don't burn the bacon. Well, luckily today it's cardio, because I spent a little bit too much time organizing and all that kind of good stuff like I do. But again, it's just a cardio day, so I'm not losing a whole lot of sleep over. I'm not super butthurt about that. Got the vlog, got my morning stuff done. I think what kind of pushed me over this morning is what pushed me over this morning is that knocking out the videos earlier in the morning added on 30 minutes into my normal thing, so might leave that for after work and evening times, which isn't an issue. But headed to the gym now, do a little pogo, do all that good stuff so that I can stay on time. This is what frustration looks like. Been here for at least 10 minutes trying to throw Pokeballs and everything else at this stupid fucking building. So, fuck it. Honestly, a big part of me was 100% sure it was going to bust out of the Master Ball too. Wait, is that the one who was in here yesterday who was snooty as fuck?
No. This
was
okay. She was like came in a horse riding outfit today.
Oh, okay.
She was talking.
Then I definitely don't know who that was.
You got any lotion?
Need help.
What's up?
What?
I just need someone to cut this fucking light off.
Oh, okay.
Got 20 mils in my right hand.
Where the light is?
It's on the right side up top. No, on the inside of that little thingy.
It's just right here. You just take your finger and you find the button.
Little people problems.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm glad you acknowledged it.
You guys are heightists.
Heightists?
Heightists. You guys hide all the good things in places that are too high for me to reach. It's a form of discrimination.
What is that? I wonder what the definition is. Like, if we look up what's the word to define a hatred for someone based on their altitude? Like, what's the word that defines that?
I'm gonna look that up now.
Hatred of one based on their own height.
What are you doing?
Is it heightist?
Heightists is what I've used my entire life.
Altitudist?
Altitudist? I mean,
What is
it's
that
probably some
minivan
really...
sketching up beside your fucking frontier, dude.
I mean, if they're trying to get fucking blasted.
They're trying to tell you about the 30 steaks for $20.
30 steaks for $20.
Y'all have a blessed night.
Bye, love you guys. The store is closed. Closing time. And that is that. We are closed. We done shut it on down. And we are headed home. So I'll see you when I get there. Good night and I love you. Well, today was the day. I gotta stop. I don't know why I say hooah every single time that I do that, flip it around. But I finally did some adulting. And one of the things obviously on my list for the 60 days is to, learn about budgets and start a budget. So the fun thing about being an adult is working with money. So made myself a budget and I took it all the way down to as low as I could possibly get, making extra payments on everything. So that will be fun to implement. And it just kind of just made me realize that I'll be antisocial for a little bit. Not necessarily antisocial as like not wanting to be around people. I'll just be doing a lot more on the cheap and free side. With the way that we get paid, I'll have to put out for some taxes, and then I set goals mid last year for like how much I want to have in stock investing, how much I want to have in savings, 2 different savings accounts, one for emergency, all these other things. I set these goals and I was not able to reach them last year. So I just increased them by 25% this year, and they will be reached this year. So everything is taken down to the last $2. So that is fun, and it will be done. That'll be fun. I'm going to have to start using a different local gym. So that's another thing. I also need to look into cheaper internet. I'm rambling and thinking out loud right now. The other good news, aside from I have like 1 or 2 things to finish off on my list for the day, is I also, thanks to help from Jacob, started watching The Boys. So watch episode 1, and that shit is intense. And I love it already from there. I've already heard a lot about Homelander, so he's just going to be my favorite character no matter what. And I may or may not be watching it because Jensen Ackles, Dean Winchester, will be playing a character on The Boys very soon. And I have zero shame in admitting that that's pretty much the number one reason. Aside from the fact that I've heard a lot about Homelander, And hell, now I just feel bad that I haven't taken the time to watch it so far because I was balls deep in that episode. But I'm getting ready to go to bed because it is what? Well, my phone's right here, and that's what I would usually use to check the time. I'm getting ready to go to bed after I knock out the last few things. 9:56. Yeah, I got plenty of time. And we'll start it all over tomorrow, and I'll start implementing the budget plan. So good night. I love you. Have an amazing day. And I hope you had an amazing Tuesday.